In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a web header. So I'm just going to go off to my website. So we're going to just create a header kind of like this. So first off, we're going to use pixels. So make sure you choose pixels before you do anything. So File New, and when we get that file new, make sure we are in pixels and not in inches. Otherwise this will be one big header and you don't want to be as big. So 100 or 800 pixels by 150, 72 for the resolution, that's standard, and make sure you're on RGB mode. The background doesn't matter too much. So I'll go ahead and just click OK. That'll give me this little thing to work with. And I'm going to grab some images off the internet. So I've got two galleries here, some of this building and some logos that I can go into. So I'll go ahead and just grab one of these first. So maybe I'll grab this guy and just drag him onto or save him. I'll just right mouse click on him and do a save image as, and just save it into a spot where I can find that. So I'll just put it on my desktop for now. Click save. Then I'm also going to go and grab one of those pictures of the building too, and I'll just go ahead and I don't want that one. Grab this one right here. So right mouse click on it, save image as, or you can click and drag it. Either way, if you need to rename it so you remember what it is, and then go to File and Open to locate those files, and then just bring them in. So they're on my desktop. So go ahead and find those. There's the building, and if I hold down Command, I can select more than one item at the same time and open those both up at the same time. So let's go ahead and I'm going to drag over this guy first. Came in really big, which is fine. So you can have to drag out a little bit. Do a Command T to resize it, to place it into the spot where you want it to go. Right about there looks good. And then I'll go ahead and grab this building picture, place that in there too. Maybe resize that a little bit to get that to the size. So I'm honestly not going to be able to get this whole thing in there unless I totally shrink it down, and I'm not going to really try and do that. I think I'll keep it right about there. That should be fine. Then grab my logo. I want to get rid of that white area. So I'm going to go ahead and grab maybe my magic wand tool and just select the white out of there. Press delete on my keyboard to make that disappear. And then deselect those marching ants. And then add some text. So grab your text tool, type out the name of your header, whatever that might be. So in this case I'm just going to type out Hillcrest High School, but if you're designing a header for something else, then you could do that as well. Sometimes the text tool takes forever to load up. So I'm on my text tool. I'll just go ahead and single click somewhere. Just type out my text. And I want to get that same color there, so I'm going to go ahead and go back into the text tool, click over here, use my eyedropper to click on that. Maybe add some layer styles to that as well, so maybe I'll give it a stroke of white, and that's a little thick, so I'll take down the border. Let's add a bevel to that and a drop shadow. Extend that out a little bit so you can get some cool things going on. And then I've got kind of an issue. I've got this extra white space that I really don't like. So I think I'll add just maybe a gradient to it, or not a gradient, but a filter effect. So I'm going to do a filter of clouds. So I'm going to use that green, and then I will use black as well for the underground. Go to filter, render, go to clouds. Oh, wrong layer. Make sure I create a blank new layer. Render and clouds. Went over the top, drag that layer below everything else to get that on there. And then I want to kind of fade this out a little bit so it goes, so it's not just so harsh. So maybe I'll just come on this layer, add a mask to it, and let's do a black fade. Wrong way. And I'll get that kind of to fade out however you want. So it's just basically a mask kind of fading out and everything. And let's add a mask or some type of brush to it too, to just add a little bit more. That one looks good. And create a separate layer for it. And I'm going to go with white this time. So as you can see, you can do lots of different things to create some interesting headers for your piece. And I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to take out all the color, and so if I do a Command U, or I can go to Image Adjustments and go to Hue Saturation. So have some fun with this project. Make it look the way you want it to look. Use all the tools that you know how to use to this point. So, but those, you want to obviously start off with the right dimensions, and then go from there. Make it a little green, yellow. Okay, and I'll call it quits on that. I'm done.